You are now listening to Rings Kings Boxing World Flash Report.
And I out there put that my reputation online, had everybody thinking I was crazy. Back in the day, who's the crazy one now? You know, I didn't even really want to say this, but it is the truth. You know, everybody needs to acknowledge, like, yo, I'm tripping. Y'all was tripping, not me. You guys were tripping. I was the one that was actually with sanity, because I'm like, yo, they're hurting little kids. Let's help them. That's called being a real man. Because I don't give a fuck what people say about me. Right. I walked through the fire and still held it down and still beat fucking Devin Haney and still drink every day and still beat him. And I did everything. What the fuck? Hey, what happened? False reality, right? Drank every single night, went out on the first Monday and a Tuesday and drank. What happened? I won.
I'm so glad people that I'm going to mention, Paulie Malignaggi, Timothy Bradley, Chris Algieri, Steve Kim, maybe Mario Lopez, maybe, but they're all piece of shit, okay?
Oh, shit!
And I'm so glad they fucking lost, and Brian proved them wrong.
Right. Yeah, Timothy Bradley, suck my dick.
Well, you know, first of all, let me just touch on both these guys' performances. You know, it was surprising to see Haney in the way he was able to perform. He showed grit, he showed determination, the will to win. He did his best to stay on his feet and all the way to the end. However, just looking at his game plan and understanding that, you know, he had prior fights with this man, it almost seemed to me that he was just somewhat in an arrogant state of mind of that left hook. He wasn't worried about that left hook. You know, there's some flaws that I've always seen with Haney. However, I've always felt that he's continued to get better and better. I understand that he's a student of the game and he studies boxing. You know, he's always watching film. He breaking down film and, you know, of his opponents. However, I thought that's what he was doing with himself. One of the biggest issues that I saw was right out when he got caught. He got caught when he was shooting the jab, and he has that bow and arrow type of jab where he pulls the backhand back as he's shooting the jab. And, you know, shout out to Jims for elaborating on that on his channel, Boxing Jims. Anyways, he has that issue. However, I thought that he was going to be able to tighten that up, understanding the fact that he can't be having any you know, bow and arrow type of jab because, you know, Ryan Garcia is going to be able to land that check hook. He's going to be able to land that shot. It's an automatic punch for Ryan Garcia. And that was the first shot he got hit with. And he went down. And from there, it was just like, you know, when the fighter goes down, one, he's embarrassed. It's the biggest fight of your life. Of course, you're going to be embarrassed. At the same time, it does something to your psyche. Anyways, you would think that he would be responsible defensively. And that was the reason why I actually picked Haney, was because I'm like, yo, he's fighting a guy that he knows. He's fighting a guy that has hand speed, punching power. He's going to have to be cautious. You know, he's pretty damn defensively sound at that. And yet he didn't show that. He didn't show that in the fight. Now let's talk about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia, he did some interesting things in there. I think Derek James, I think they had a great game plan. You know, he used his jab every now and then. He was luring in. He was trying to set lateral traps. You kept seeing him moving to the left and moving to the right, bagging up, bringing Haney, just allowing Haney to come in and come in and come in. But once he started punching with Haney, and I said this in my breakdown, I was like, to better his chances, he has to punch with Haney because he has the faster hands and he's the stronger puncher. And once he started exchanging with him, man, and letting his hands go, Haney had no answers whatsoever. There was no counters coming. Haney would just go up in a high guard. The speed was too blazing fast. The power was too much for him. You know, it looked like he didn't have his legs because he was getting knocked off balance and so on and so forth. You know, but they had a really good plan, you know, and he started turning that jab into a hook, a surprise hook. He started parrying with it, using that long guard, and he started coming around and catching him with that hook. But, you know, I want to go back to the beginning because, you know, you're an analyst, great analyst as well, man. I listened to you on your channel. You know, through the lead up of this fight, I thought Haney was going to win this fight with flying colors. And that's with everything being equal. Understand that. That's what everything being equal. So, like, we make our predictions. We talk about this. We talk about that. We talk about each other's flaws. We talk about all their abilities, right? But that's before we actually get to the weigh-ins, because the weigh-ins is actually where you can see, all right, is my pick right or is my pick wrong? Two, to continue what I'm going to initially say is that Ryan Garcia didn't make the weight, people. I don't care. Like, you have a contract to make a weight. And I don't think Ryan Garcia intended to make the weight at 140 pounds. Even after the fact, Ryan was like, well, that's why I always fight at 143. There was no way I was going to make the weight. He knew even going into the fight that he wasn't going to make the weight to begin with, which is one, not right. Two, you're contracted to make 140 and you go into the fight now with an advantage, So what he learned from Gervonta Davis was he took it into this fight against Devin Haney. And, some people say, well, Haney, he took the money and Haney, of course, he had to, because he was damned if he didn't, damned if he don't. This is a huge event, man. And now you pull away, now you're going to piss off a lot of folks. The zone, promoters, everybody going to start, oh, he's scared, he's that, he's this and that. It's only 3 pounds, it's only 3 pounds. If it's only 3 pounds, 3 and a 3.2, 3 point, whatever it is, if it's only that, why wasn't it attempted to be made? Why didn't Ryan Garcia attempt to make that weight? Because he said it in a tweet. I'm not going to drain myself. I want to be physically strong for the fight. Well, guess who drained themselves to make their weight? Devin the Dream Haney. Now, it's not Ryan's fault. However, Ryan didn't even attempt to make the weight. So Ryan went into this fight with an advantage. Remember, everything we say through the lead up, we don't know that he's not going to make the weight. We're assuming possibly, but we're not banking on any of that. We're banking on skill for skill. Period. Skill for skill. Their last performances, how each guys, what the mistakes are, yada, yada, yada. All right. Boom. So I just wanted to elaborate on that, man, and saying that Ryan Garcia had an advantage in this fight. It wasn't an even playing field here. Devin Haney act like a true professional all the way through. He was a true professional all the way through. He made his contracted weight. Understand that, people. Garcia didn't, and it helped him in this fight. He was walking. Look, Haney is not a big puncher, but he's a respectful puncher. But he was walking through his stuff like nothing. I mean, every shot that Ryan threw, it buckled Haney. Even if it was a grazing blow, it buckled him. But I tell you right now, it will be different. If 3 pounds is not much, why didn't Ryan attempt to make it? Okay, because they would have weakened his resolve. There's no doubt in my mind. Now you got an even playing field. Now it's a little bit different. Now it would have took something away from that punching power that he had because he looked heavy. We say, well, Haney gets up to 160-something pounds. He blown up. That's a ton of sodium, water retention, so on and so forth. He's not making his weight properly. However, you had Ryan that has a solid 3, maybe even more pounds that was on him, man. He looked so dense and so big in that fight with Haney. Haney looked like the small guy. Usually Haney is the bigger guy. He was small compared to Ryan Garcia. And so that's what helped him in his favors. So now I look at this and I go, well, what kind of credit do you give Ryan? What kind of credit do you give Ryan, honestly? The fight was great. The result was fantastic. Everybody was on the edge of their seat. However, how much credit do you really give him when he had an advantage going into the fight? I don't care about the belt. I don't care about the actual bet that they had. That's not the point. The point is you had a contract to wait. You knew you weren't going to make. In that case, you should have made the fight at 143. No belt attached to the fight, but he didn't. That would have helped Haney in this bout. It would have definitely helped him be able to absorb them shots that Ryan was throwing. Regardless of how I look and I view Ryan Garcia as a fighter, what he does have is elite speed and elite power. Those two things right there are hard to come by, period. Doesn't have the best technique, doesn't have the best boxing ability. I mean, you saw him. Dude was literally turning his back again. People, are you kidding me? Turning his back like this. Have you ever seen that in a fighter? I've never seen that before, bro. It's the first time you ever seen someone turn their back and get away with it, man. You can't turn your back like that away from action, bro. That is wrong. That is not right. And something needs to be done. Like a rule needs to be changed. The Ryan Garcia rule. Remember, he had the hack-a-shack? The Ryan Garcia, they needed something. You don't turn your back. Don't do that, Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Because it's not fair. It's not allowing your opponent to be able to mount an offense because you're turning your back. And now you got the referee that's vexing you on that. Now, the flip side of that is again, even playing field. The even playing field. Some of his resolve would have been taken if he would have shrunk down now 3.2 pounds. It would have been taken away. Some of that power that Ryan had would have been taken away. Maybe, just maybe, Haney would have been able to take some of those punches a lot better. They wouldn't have had as much effect on those shots as they did. You know, just maybe. You know, but I could say Ryan, yes, because of the experience they had in the past, he did have his number. There's no doubt about it. But that's why they're 3 for 3. They were 3 for 3. Now they're 3 for 4. That's why they got to do it again, because I feel that if they did it again on the even playing field, Haney might can get him. Haney might can get him. Now, Haney took a ton of damage. I don't think it's going to be hard to be the same after taking that type of butt whooping. I mean, because he got his behind whooped.
Subscribe now and make Ring Kings Boxing your source for all the latest fight news.